I was just reflecting on a business that I used to run years ago now. It must be 10 years ago or so that I ran this business. And what it was tuition in martial arts. I was a Taekwondo instructor. And I decided to start a class for young children, very young children, as in 5 to 12 years old, or maybe, yeah, I think about that age group. And I particularly designed the classes to be appropriate for that age group. But something has struck me now that completely blows my mind, and I'm amazed that I would do such a business. I'm finding it amazingly irresponsible, incredible bad judgment, and disastrous thing to be doing with my life. I can't believe that I would run an activity like that. Teaching young children, 5-year-old children, 8-year-old children, teaching them techniques, genuine Taekwondo techniques, um, into the air and into pads, obviously. So there was no sparring involved, no contact of that sort. But I was teaching genuine Taekwondo techniques to very young children. I may as well have given them a bow and arrow to learn how to use, or a loaded gun, and expect them to behave with those things responsibly. Expect them to not do anything dangerous with it. So I'm thinking now that I could have had a phone call from a parent saying that one of my students broke the nose of a classmate, or broke the ribs of someone at school or nursery school. It's absolutely incredibly bad judgment for me to have a class teaching genuine Taekwondo techniques to young children. I called the class Tiny Taekwondo, which I thought was a pretty cool name. And I had a website and everything, and did advertising. And I ran the class for years, I think. I don't remember details now due to injury, but I'm pretty sure it ran for some years. And thankfully, there was no problem resulting from the classes. But I'm thinking now, it suddenly just struck me now, what if something had happened and one of my students had broken the nose of a classmate at nursery school, or broken the ribs, or perhaps even something more serious? It's just amazing how I would run a class that taught kids who wouldn't be able to necessarily control themselves, to teach them genuine martial arts techniques. And it's completely irrational, irresponsible, and dopey, basically, to have pursued that activity. And I'm just incredibly lucky that there was no consequence from doing it. No one got injured, there was no problem. But I'm thinking now there could have been awful problems that resulted from this. It's so ridiculous that I'm sure I would have made the newspapers or something. If one of my students had hurt another student, hurt someone else, hurt a child at school, or attacked their teacher or something, it would probably be in the newspapers, and I'd probably have been prosecuted for doing this activity. I don't know what possessed me to think I could teach genuine Taekwondo to young children. It seemed completely innocent to me. When I think about it, I know that I was just thinking it would be a fun activity and it's genuine technique. And then when they got older, they would have a foundation to learn more in Taekwondo. But now I'm thinking, I understand they can step back and thinking it's completely crazy to be teaching genuine Taekwondo to young children. The consequences could have been phenomenally bad. It could have been so awful. And I'm so grateful that there was no consequence. But I'm stunned that I could be so dopey, so irresponsible to have pursued that activity. And as far as I remember, I don't remember details at all, but as far as I remember, classes ran well, parents were involved, it seemed fun and good, and the classes were taught well. I was careful to teach proper techniques in a safe way. I did everything right, but I do know that if they had a fight at school or whatever, it could have been disastrous, and I'm so glad nothing went wrong. But it just shows you what you can do in life. And I was probably around 30 years old when I did this, so I wasn't young. I was wise. I should have been wise enough to understand what I was doing, but it simply didn't occur to me how crazy what I was doing was. And no one said anything to me. No one said to me, "Are you sure you should be doing this?" So I don't know why I wasn't advised not to do it. It just shows you life can be very strange and you can make very bad decisions in life. So there you go.